Good afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm Undrai Fizer. It's a beautiful day out here. It's cold, but it's beautiful. And it looks like the day has been accelerating. It looks like the weekend and it's a Monday, but it looks like there is an acceleration going throughout the day. And maybe it's the holiday season, and it's maybe it's the expectations of people probably. But look, I'm not going to hold you. I just want to talk about recognized and recognition. You know that something is valuable when you could recognize what your deficiencies would be without a particular thing. When you have recognized what your deficiencies would be without a particular thing, it creates a value and a faithfulness. And when you also recognize where you prosper with a particular thing, the power of your life and the power of everything you do is based on how well you recognize the value of a particular thing. And when you recognize the value of a particular thing, your life will respond to the value that you recognize. You don't really have to go through a process to see how to learn this or how to do that. It all starts when you recognize, first of all, how deficient am I without it? How deficient am I without it? Repeat after me. How deficient am I without this? See, toleration is not a value. Toleration is I could get along with this deficiency. It means if I'm without it, I can still do it. I can still move with a limp. I don't have to have it. If I don't have it, I can still get by with it. And when you recognize power, you have recognized that you can't get by. I have to have it. People will invest in things when they recognize their deficiency without it. People won't invest when they can tolerate not having it. People won't sow into it. People won't buy your books. People won't come to your classes. People won't sow into your teachings. People won't buy your product if they could get along without it. But when people know that your product, which may be your mind or your vision or your purpose, when they know that your information will add to them, it will prosper me if I have this. You don't have to ask people to invest in it. You don't have to ask people to buy it because they have recognized, say that word, recognize. They have recognized. They see my life is better with your contribution. My life is better with you. My life is better because of your information. My life is better because of your existence. I have recognized it. I'm not tolerating it because there are some people who tolerate you not being in their life. And if they can tolerate you not being in their life, they will not sow into you. And it's not a matter of money, but they will not contribute to you. They will not be in your circle. They will not be in your vibration of relationships. They won't because they can get along without you. They don't need you. And it's not a matter of need because I don't know who I am. But I don't need your socket to plug into to make me turn on. You know, some places have more than one outlet. So if I don't plug my iPhone in my office, I could plug it in the front room. So if my plug goes out in my office, I'm not deficient because all I have to do is go into the foyer and plug my iPhone in the foyer and it'll work. So I'm not deficient because I have another outlet. See, when people recognize your life, they recognize you as an outlet that must be plugged into. But when they can tolerate you not being there, they could go somewhere else and plug in. And you understand? How many of you understand what I'm saying? See, I have to recognize my deficiency. When I recognize that I'm deficient without your information, I have seen the value of it. It will prompt me and it will allow me to invest in you because I can't live without you. Living with you will make my life better. Living with your presence will prosper me more than living in a toleration. How you doing? Bless all of you, Gerard, Audrey, Belinda, Bridget, Dana, every one of you who are on. Blessings to you, and those who I've missed, hey, I'm glad you're with me, and I won't hold you. When I recognize that your life will bring something to me, I will sow into your life. It's not just a matter of pay for you being here, but I won't waste your words. I won't waste your presence. I won't treat you like you're an insignificant outlet. I won't waste you. And so many people waste you. It's not a matter of wasting your time. They've wasted the reason you are alive. They are not prospering because they haven't recognized, and maybe we haven't recognized either, why you are in the world. Waste comes as a result of not recognizing that our need is met before we know it. Waste comes when there are prominent things in our presence that we have yet to be awakened or enlightened to. So we waste our existence. We don't know. One of the tragic things in the world is that we're tolerating our life and don't know it. Some of us are getting by with very little and don't know it. Some of us are thinking we're full, but we have not even used all of our mind and all of our consciousness and all of our potential. But yet we are satisfied. And when a person is satisfied, that's one of the tragic things, when satisfaction comes before true fulfillment. When you find yourself satisfied and you're not everything yet. When you find yourself full and you're not full. That is tragic, because you're getting a mixed signal of where you are. And so therefore, when you get a mixed signal of who you are and where you are, you hinder light from really coming. Jesus said something that was incredible. He said, because you say you see, your sin or your fault or your limitation remains because you say you know. He said, but if you say I don't see, if you say I don't know, he said, then light can come. Then the physician could heal you because you say, I don't see. He said, but because you say you see, your sin, or not just your action in committing adultery and fornication, but your fault or your limited reality remains because you say you know when you don't know. You have tolerated your deficiency. And when you tolerate your deficiency, the light does not come. So, sorry, I had a phone call. Before I go, you have to recognize, have I recognized what my deficiency is without this? Because if you tolerate in a deficiency, you are saying that you can see. Have you recognized your deficiency without this thing? I've recognized what I'm not without it. And I can't live being what I'm not, so I need to have it. And I'm not just giving, I'm not just saying it, I'm not just giving God rhetoric in the name of Jesus, but I've recognized what I'm not without it, so I need it. I need to have it. I'm not just living and I got a deficiency, but I'm okay because I got another outlet. No, when you recognize your deficiency, you've recognized you have no outlets. And so you protect the outlet that you do see, because you can't plug into everything. There are some of us who have cell phones that can't take all car charges, even though the prong may be made for that iPhone or that Android. Android. Welcome, team iPhone. There are some prongs that don't fit the phone. Even though it fits in the phone, it won't charge because it's a third-party prong. It's a third-party charger. And there are some of us with valuable phones like the iPhone. We have these valuable phones, and Apple makes sure that its chargers are specifically made for that item. You just can't get a cheap knockabout to charge your phone. So how many of you, before I go, have existed with cheap knockabouts to get your information and cheap knockabouts to charge you and cheap knockabouts to give you information? You haven't recognized your deficiency. You have not recognized your deficiency when you get a cheap knockabout to keep you going. See, when you understand the value of your deficiency, see, you have to see how you need to recognize the value of the deficiency. I'm so deficient. I need this information because my deficiency is great without it. You won't seek to get a cheap knockabout to just keep you going. No, I need the real, authentic thing. So I want you to look at this, and I want you to receive this for yourself. Because some of you, you're taking time off of your jobs just to listen to me here. And I want you to know this isn't a cheap knockabout. Now, I could say I'm not a cheap knockabout, but your deficiency, when you recognize what your deficiency means, you determine what the value of a thing is based on what your deficiency means to you. You understand? I could say I'm great. I could say this is good, but your deficiency and your prosperity is based on you. And when you recognize what your deficiency means without a thing, you recognize the value of a thing. And when you recognize what your prosperity means with a thing, you recognize the value of a thing. Because you say you see, you stay limited. But when you say, I don't know, when you say I'm sick, then the physician, light, could come and heal you. How many of you follow me? All right. Love you much. Join me again. Peace always.